Good morning. Today we're going to talk a little bit about social, emotional, and behavior development in early childhood. I know that some of you have been asking questions about this topic in some of our younger grades, and this will also count towards your MLP, your My Learning Plan. You can plug it in there and they will approve it for you. I've already asked. Um, I've left sticky notes on your tables, your desks, if you need to write down any questions, because we really won't have a lot of time today to ask questions. So write them down. You all have my email, so you can email me when you have a chance if you have any extra questions. So the first thing we're going to talk about is, now if I can get my PowerPoint to work here, emotional development. First, I'm going to go through the bullet points, and then we'll talk a little more extensively about how we can help foster these. So first, a few things about emotional development in early childhood. Those kiddos keep a few close friends and people in their lives without making new circles of trusted adults. They begin to use more complex language to understand themselves and others. Their self-esteem is bursting, and the world revolves around them. I think you've all probably seen that. It's a daily thing with some of these kiddos, most of them. And then they start to use control to express their emotions, but still need guidance and reassurance. So how can we help foster emotional development in children? Teach negotiating skills and compromising skills, teaching the coping skills that they need to express their appropriate emotions, provide opportunities for children to play together, teach empathy, modeling caring for others, making them feel safe, secure, and comfortable in their learning environment, and let children become more independent. Most of the time, we will need to coach these kiddos to verbally express their emotions and feelings appropriately. For some kids, this may be like being taught with us right there to assist them and to offer words and solutions to help resolve their conflict. And also another thing to do is engaging in group discussions, like pulling a few of them aside, talking about what could happen next, do some role playing, and how to resolve things before problems arise. And a great tool that we use here at school is called Second Steps. I'm sure most of you have seen the kindergarten teachers, and I believe even the first and second graders use it too. And that can be a whole other presentation itself. So maybe there might be a chance that I could do that for you guys at some point. So that's a little bit about emotional development. Next, we're going to move on to social development. It uses a wider range of vocabulary. Kids use wider ranges of vocabulary when understanding the concern for others. This is just kind of some things that are developing in this early childhood stage. Cooperative play is more complex and engaging. They establish and maintain friendships with other kids and are able to express their feelings more verbally now. So how can we help foster social development in children? Set clear limits, support teachers in the classroom, support their rules, don't change their rules, don't add. Try to follow what they have, listed as their rules and back them up. Always find a way to praise a child more than you try to correct them. Back when I was teaching Head Start, one of my supervisors always told me to one negative thing you say to a child, there should be 100 positives that you give that child. So that's something that's always stuck in my head. Teach children to express their feelings verbally. Engage children in group discussions and role playing. Read books on conflict resolution and cooperation. And when they ask a question about understanding their world, take time to answer them. I mean, sometimes we get so caught up in what's going on around them and they have a question and it's like, and you might just give them a short answer and they might just go, what, really? And so maybe just take the time to answer them. So how can we help? Oh, yeah, that was fostering social development. Sorry. As they become more aware of and independent in their world, they become more verbal and are able to think about others and themselves, not just in their own little world. And they're also able to be aware of others' point of views. And they move from parallel play to more advanced play like associative and cooperative play. And a little bit about associative play is when each child participates in a separate activity, but with the cooperation and assistance of others. So that's where we would step in. That's associative play. Cooperative play is concerned with solving a problem by working together to achieve a common goal. So when they're working in the block area or the house area during free centers time, you will start to notice that they're, one child is playing with something and another child comes in and wants to help also or play that same thing. They're not going to be like, no, this is mine. They're going to be like, yeah, come join me. So that's more of a cooperative play, and they're going to cooperate to make something together. Early social development is complex and very closely related to the other areas of development like cognitive, physical, emotional, and linguistic and aesthetic play. Cognitive play, of course, is about our thinking. Physical is how we move. Emotional is how we cope. Linguistic is our language, of course, and aesthetic is our visual and hands-on learning. Kids at this age, hands-on learning is really good for them. So, and here's just a little thing from NAEYC, which is the National Association of Education of Young Children. NAEYC really emphasizes the need for socialization and the development of social skills because they feel it's a vital part of early childhood development and early childhood education. So I'm just going to read their brief description that they have about social development and socialization in the classroom. Development and learning occur in and are influenced by multiple and social contexts and cultural context. Children are active learners, drawing on direct physical and social experiences as well as culturally transmitted knowledge to construct their own understanding of the world around them. So that kind of what that means is what they're learning, they try to plug it into what's going on in their world around them. So it makes more sense to them. Development and learning result from interaction of biological maturation and the environment, which includes both physical and social worlds that the kids live in. Play is an important vehicle for children's social, emotional, and cognitive development, as well as a reflection of their development. So if there's a child that doesn't get the outside physical play, or even inside physical play, they're not going to mature at the rate that they should. So children develop and learn best in the context of a community where they feel safe, valued, and their physical needs are met. Food, water, clothing, love, caring, and as they feel psychologically secure. So as you can see, socialization is intertwined with all stages of development, and it's important to fostering a healthy child. Moving on to behavioral development. Children will engage in activities more independently. They'll start to show more interest in helping out. They will also test your limits and boundaries. They will take greater risks and start using better strategies to resolve conflict. So some ways that we can help foster behavioral development in children are acknowledge and encourage children's efforts and accomplishments using real feedback. So giving them that, oh, I like the way you, drew that picture of the sun and the star, or the sun and the clouds and the birds flying. I love the way you wrote the letter M today, those kind of things. Provide time, materials, and support for children to engage in many kinds of play. Help boost their confidence and self-esteem. Provide reminders about what is appropriate behavior and what is expected of them. That could be on a daily basis and sometimes more than once a day. Foster self-regulation, and they also focus on their strengths. So so that was, fostering behavioral development in children. So in early childhood, it's sometimes a tricky concept to teach young children this. Don't expect too much too soon. Some of our younger kindergartners may fall back on behaviors like tantrums and meltdowns. And sometimes the best thing to do is just step back and ignore that, as long as they're not hurting others or themselves. If the tantrums and meltdowns do become a problem, we may to look in to see if there's an underlying cause. Are they tired? Are they hungry? Did something happen at home? Sometimes I've even seen that their jeans are too tight or their pants are too tight. So that just makes them irritable, or their socks are messed up in their shoe. There's a tag sticking on their shirt that is bothering them. There's just sometimes little triggers that some of those kiddos just, can't handle, and they need help figuring out how to get past it. So the less negatively we react to their meltdowns and their tantrums, the less the less it will escalate. And we need to be clear about what is acceptable. What's not acceptable, hitting or other physical aggressions and speaking to us in a disrespectful tone. And of course, what's our number one rule here at school? Keep our hands and our feet to ourselves. So, teaching children different coping strategies is another good way to foster behavioral development in children. That, once again, can go back to play scenarios, maybe pulling out some second steps ideas from the teachers, and that can help them calm down on their own in a positive manner. So here's some ideas. Take a break from the situation. Sometimes all that needs to be done is teacher directed, and let them know that it's not okay to act that way, and just to walk away from that situation to a different part of the classroom or playground. Find a way to get the anger out safely: drawing, doing a physical activity, dancing, maybe even taking a small 10-minute break outside. Just get them outside to run. Sometimes that's just what they need. This one, maybe teacher or para-directed, but they need to shift their minds from the negative thoughts that they're thinking about the situation to something positive. So basically getting their minds off of the negative situation. And it can be a little more difficult for kids and even adults. So we just kind of need to think about that. So that's pretty much it that I've wanted to talk about for social, emotional, and behavioral development in early childhood. On the next slide is a short video about teaching emotions and adjectives to describe their emotions. Just something a little fun for you to watch. Hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, feel free to email me and let me know. Social, emotional development in early childhood for kiddos. And that's it. Talk to you soon. Bye.